Welcome back to the U Sports Report. I'm Kimberly Temple, he's Khalil Ekalona, and we're about to take you out of bounds for some NFL talk because like Khalil has told us many times before, the NFL season is never really over.
No, it's never over.
It's never over. And I love that about football.
Yes.
I do. I love it.
It's great.
So Colin Kaepernick allegedly interested in going to the Broncos. Sounds like trade talks are happening.
Trade talks, I believe, are going down with the 49ers and the Denver Broncos to see how they can secure a new QB.
All right, sounds good. It looks, I mean, I've heard Colin Kaepernick has kind of put them on pause. He's not interested in a pay cut, but he's still kind of hanging out with the 49ers, you know, postseason stuff.
Yeah, he's shown up to the off-season voluntary workouts. I believe he gets, if he has a 90% attendance rate, an additional $400,000, which is really nice in this situation. Apparently, the talks seem to be held up over $4.9 million. That's right. Colin Kaepernick is owed virtually $12 million by the San Francisco 49ers as of Friday, April 1st, by meeting the new league year. However, there's $4.9 million that Denver Broncos can't cover, that they're asking San Francisco to cover, that San Francisco is saying no at now. So either the Broncos come up with a way to cover this $4.9 million, San Francisco absolutely pays this $4.9 million, or Kaepernick takes a pay cut and makes the trade happen. Which do you think is more likely?
Honestly, here's what I'll tell you guys. I'm not the biggest Kaepernick fan, so I think he should take the cut because it's not a long-term thing. He may take a few pay cuts over a couple years, but in the long run, if he does big things with Denver, you know they're going to come up with the money to make that contract a lot bigger and better for him if he's worth it.
If he's worth it, that is true, because the NFL is what have you done for me now type of league, and not all of those contracts are fully guaranteed.
Sure.
But my opinion is Kaepernick should keep the money. He earned it. They signed the deal with the 49ers. If they really want to get rid of him, well, sometimes you have to pay a little bit more. Question, have you ever had a bad date that you paid to get out of your life?
A bad date?
Or a bad date or a bad boyfriend or a bad friend or somebody that you just absolutely gave something up to get rid of them?
I don't know that there's enough money to get rid of some of the bad boyfriends I've had, but I'm sure that there are times I have done something to get them out of the picture.
All right. Not all the money in Fort Knox can get rid of the losers that Kimberly has dated. Okay. Moving on to tennis. That's right. We have the Miami Open Championships, and catching you up on the men's final, it was Novak Djokovic defeating Kei Nishikori. Oh, I'm going to say that again. Nishikori, excuse me. He defeated Kei Nishikori 6-3, 6-4. Yes, in the Miami Open, the men only play the best of 3 sets, much like the women do. Absolutely, it was a fantastic game, but Novak Djokovic is proving why he's the perennial #1 rated player in the world by constantly shutting this guy down. Over to the women's side. In the women's final, it was Victoria Azarenka defeating Svetlana Kutsova 6-3, 6-2 to pull off that championship as well. Look, the tennis season is underway. We've got Wimbledon coming up. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic summer. I love tennis in the Grand Slam championships because it's just a really great game. You see these great players coming up, and there's always some young up-and-comer.
Sure, yeah, it's such a high-intensity game. There's no room for error in tennis. There's really not. I mean, I've played tennis for a few times. Not on a team of any kind, I'll give you guys that much warning, and I'm not good at it by any means, but it's so adrenaline rush, so it's a good sport.
It's a fantastic sport, and just a tip, guys, if you're ever playing with Kimberly, force her to her backhand, and you'll win in straight sets.
There you go.
Moving on to baseball, we've got a World Series matchup last year, that exciting World Series, which the Kansas City Royals won over the New York Mets. We have a rematch of that. The New York Mets playing their first game of the season in Kansas City just to try to get back a little bit of that World Series mojo that they lost. And ladies and gentlemen, this was a great game. Started off by great pitching, Matt Harvey taking on Volquez, but the Mets really couldn't pull it through. Kansas City wins 4-3 over the Mets. Volquez getting the win. Davis with the save. Hosmer 3-for-4, 1 RBI. Infante 2-for-3, 1 RBI. Matt Harvey went 6 strong innings, but absolutely couldn't pull it through. David Duda 1-for-4 with 2 RBIs in that game. So baseball is here. It's going to be going on till November. You've heard my opinions about that before, but we're going to have plenty to report to you on baseball here at the U Sports Report. NBA playoff push, Detroit at Chicago. Chicago really holding on to that 8th spot in the Eastern Conference, trying to hold off a couple teams, most notably the Washington Wizards. The Detroit Pistons really trying to make something happen and hold their position too. And this was a good game, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very important game these last few games of the season. Detroit going up 5 points with 43.3 seconds left. Jimmy Butler shoots, swishes, pulls in the huge shot to make it a 4-point game. 40 seconds left. Once again, a foul on one side, and Jeff Van Gundy is really unhappy. He's mad. Oh, beautiful putback on the miss. Jimmy Butler takes it in the family jewels, ladies and gentlemen. And that is not a fun experience. It's happened to me a few times. And yes, that's a charge in the most offensive ways. 94-90, the Detroit Pistons pull out the game. Jimmy Butler with a triple-double, 28 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists. It was really, really difficult for him to take that loss because it hurt in so many ways, as you just saw.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, he was not a happy guy.
You know, not at all. He was broken down. Okay, one last game in the NBA to report to you. The Miami Heat taking on the Portland Trail Blazers, and this affecting, you know, a lot once again in this playoff push for both of these squads. We're going to take a look at some of these fantastic highlights. No Dwayne Wade for Miami. He had to ice up his entire body.
Oh yeah, Tyler, our dub master, he will show you that the meme that he has completely iced up, and you know that's what it takes, I guess, at that age, at this high intense level of skill and talent.
Yeah, he's got a lot of wear and tear, a lot of basketball miles on those legs and knees. There is a big, big, big three by McCollum, who absolutely came through, stepped up, while Damian Lillard did his thing with 18 points. McCollum came through, 24 points, 7 assists, absolutely did a great game. And Miami with Whiteside, 20 points, 13 rebounds. They tried, but they couldn't pull it off. With no Chris Bosh and no Dwayne Wade, there's just no way they can win that game.
No, and we've talked about that before. Missing 2 key players can make all the difference for any team.
A huge difference for any and every team. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Out of Bounds. We're going to come back to you with Players Club, the players that really stood out to us over the past week here on the U Sports Report.